This week on Call the Midwife, it seems like smallpox, but we learn it's leprosy, and then we have a take on tocophobia. All that, plus a popular picnic coming up in just a sec.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another Call the Midwife after show. This is series season 7, episode 5. I'm John Comerford, sitting in the studio with Tamara Berg.
Hi, everybody.
And Courtney Stewart.
Hello, hello.
All right, now we're done with all the alliteration from my opening.
Yeah, good job.
I just want to say popular picnic.
Popular picnic.
It's very popular picnic. Okay, so we were talking last week about we wanted to get teary-eyed. Tamara, did this one do it for you?
I did. I got tear stains right down here on page 1.
First of all, I wanted to say the guest actors they had in this week, the person who played Eunice and Arde. I mean, I thought they did a fabulous job. Even Reggie was doing. Yeah,
Reggie's always so lovely.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just thrilled with some of the things they were doing. I mean, I thought it was great. But let's talk about Eunice's storyline. Eunice Dobson and her husband. Apparently, she's having a little bit of a challenge being pregnant, and then because of shall we talk about what happened the first time, her first pregnancy? Ladies, would you like to go?
Yeah,
discuss?
Yeah, you'd like us to talk about it.
The forceps, shall we?
The forceps.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I remember the first time I saw forceps in real life. Well, not like in real life, like on TV.
Right.
And I never thought they were that large.
Right.
And I just didn't know what to do with myself.
The clanging of the metal she talks about.
Well, and the language. I mean, the dialogue that let's see, was Helen Blakeman who decided to write up the ripping it out of her.
He was ripping it out of
and
me.
she was pleading.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Okay.
And
So
why wouldn't they stop? That's what she kept saying. She was like, why wouldn't they stop? Because they had to bring forth, and she was dying, like right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're huge. The forceps.
They're huge.
Yeah,
their arms, like they're. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like that, man.
And doesn't it seem extremely barbaric?
Yes.
And that they're still used. So.
Because it's effective,
Yeah,
apparently.
I mean it works. So.
Yeah, it just mentally destroys.
All right. So, but we don't know that when we first meet her. So all we know is that Eunice, is just, basically saying that everything's fine. No, everything's good. I'm okay.
But she's a little
Yeah, exactly.
standoffish with her husband.
Yeah.
Very standoffish, and
Seems like maybe she's not happy.
He soon learns that she's not going to the clinic. There hasn't been any
Yes.
checkups. There hasn't been any of this, and it's Lucy's job to find out why. So
What's
she's the one that gets sent
going
out there, and initially she doesn't even want Lucy to touch her.
Touch her, no blood pressure, like nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we don't even know. It's like, what could, and
What's
I don't
wrong?
know. I'm going, what could be this one? What could be going
I was
on
like,
here?
is she not pregnant anymore? And she's lied about
Yeah,
it.
it's like,
I was
yeah,
running through
interesting.
all the
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that the whole thing was fake?
Yeah. I didn't
Okay.
know.
I didn't even think about that.
No, we have a new malady this week.
Exactly. I thought, and also the way she was describing it was when Lucy finally gained her confidence and said, "Look, if you'll at least tell me, I can help you." And so finally, she starts revealing it, and the way she was going through it was like PTSD. I mean, she was
Yes.
reliving it. It was just like, whoa, I thought that was great, very effective. And then she starts describing it. I'm going, okay, all right, that's good. I'm good. I don't need
my
to know.
legs were strung up,
strung
and he
up,
was ripping it
exactly.
out of me. And then she freaks out. She
Yeah.
completely freaks out.
Yeah.
But I really loved the compassion from the mother-in-law. I thought.
Oh
The
yeah,
mother-in-law was the best ever.
yeah.
Just get on with it, girl. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe because sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Turn the page, honey.
Yeah, you just have to suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup. Exactly.
She reminded me of Ursula.
Oh yeah.
Only because, she's just,
That's a good comparison.
Sure.
I buy
ju-
that.
just the warm and fuzzies coming off of her like crazy.
Yeah.
Warm and fuzzies like that little sweater.
Like the sweater she
Sweater.
crocheted or knitted or whatever it was. Yeah, it was a lovely one. Wasn't adorable?
was
That was the one
adorable.
piece of fashion I noticed.
John finally notices fashion.
I did. So, and of course it ends up in the dustbin.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and that's the thing she's upset about the most.
Yes,
the
that
mother-in-law that I made this for Michael when he was born, and it didn't end up in the dustbin. But this one, so she's not it all
Clearly out of touch.
Yeah.
Completely out of
no
touch.
care
Doesn't get it
whatsoever
at
for
all.
Eunice.
Even after the doctor's like, we got to be there to support her. This is a big deal. But she threw my sweater away.
Yeah. But what was great though, you got to give Mr. Dobson credit, right?
Agreed. Yep.
That's it. You heard Mom. you're out.
Go
I'm
home.
putting you on the
Taking
train
you to the
tomorrow.
train
Exactly. I was going, whoa, there you go. And we haven't seen that guy
Nope.
a lot
Right.
in
Not
1963.
Right,
And,
the-
and
that
years
kind of guy,
prior
yeah.
to that, yeah, it was
Right.
because that's his mom, and usually there's this, they're stuck in the middle, and he, of
Yep.
course, was like, no, okay, good, you're
Time
not
to go.
helping.
Bye-bye.
Don't
Yeah.
need you here right now. Thanks. Why don't you come after they're born, after the child is here?
I thoroughly
Exactly.
appreciated
So-
that.
Yeah.
And of course, then we learn everything, and then it's up to Lucy and Dr. Turner to try to let her know that this allay her concerns that this doesn't usually happen on the second birth. And did you? I didn't think for a second, because we'd seen the coming ups from last week. You knew that she was standing in the bathroom and not letting everybody in. But
Yeah.
I loved when she said that. Lucy says, "Look, I'll be here to help you the whole way," and she's going, "Well, you better figure something else out because I'm not
having
delivering this baby."
I love it,
Yeah.
but I can't have
Have
it.
it.
Yes. And
I-
what a great conflict in writing. You're always looking for the intent and obstacle, and here you go. This is happening. This is happening.
It's an insurmountable problem.
Exactly. How do you solve this problem, Maria?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
yes. Exactly.
Oh, and the act when she's in the bathroom and you can see
yeah.
her like clutching her legs together and like
Yes.
trying to
Yeah.
hold it in. I was just, girl.
And eyeballing the razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice touch that they decided to put in there. And I was going, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but they had done a really good job for me of painting her in the corner and now in the bathroom.
corner of the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And not having a choice in her mind, of course,
Yeah.
because of what she went through in the past.
Right.
And I'm going, it didn't even dawn on me, is she that desperate? But for me, they'd painted enough of that desperation that I was going, yeah, I'm buying that she just might want to do something to relieve this.
Think about it. You are this woman who is, 8.5, 9 months pregnant.
yeah.
She's known she's been pregnant for, let's say, 8 of those months.
Yeah.
Just to round
Yep.
numbers. The terror she must have had building in her every single day. And, to a certain degree, you can sort of put it off and go, oh, it's not there, it's not happening. But then,
As it gets bigger
As
and
it gets
bigger,
bigger.
Yeah.
which is
The-
why you don't go to the clinic, because I don't want to be reminded I have this
Yeah.
thing in me.
right.
And then as soon as she feels like the pressure changes of birth and
Yeah.
starting, like
Now
I
it's
can't
happening. I can't stop
Because
it.
she's pretty sure that she's going to die.
Right.
Her baby's
Yeah.
going to die. The whole world is going to end.
Yeah.
And it's going to be unbearably painful.
Yeah, and then there's also, we didn't talk about this yet, but there's the 2 years where she didn't let her husband touch her and
Yeah.
everything. And then, of course, when
One
it finally
time.
one time. And the sheath.
all it takes.
The sheath breaks, ruptures, or what term they use.
Splits, I
Yeah,
think is it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then, so there's all that time where it's in her head. I mean, the whole,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, because that's the whole reason. No, we're not going to engage in that activity. Thank you very
Right.
much. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get stuck in that position
Like never
for
again.
So
2
to speak.
years. Exactly. Thank you, Tamara. and then, so that she's never left that moment.
Right.
It's been
No.
with her for those 2 years.
she's been
and
on that
now
table
through this
screaming.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's
She's
still
been
there.
on the table.
She talks
Yeah.
about the film playing in her
Yeah,
head.
she can't let that go. And I'm going, wow, this is, it's just like any other
intense.
PTSD. And and of course we learned later that they didn't put a name to that until I don't know who
Years
knows when.
later.
Decades, they
Decades
said
after
later.
1963, tocophobia. And I had never heard the term. Had you guys ever heard this term?
Nope.
I mean, I've heard of people, and they even talked about it with Phyllis and Valerie, that everybody's has
the fear.
moments of doubt, like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't do this, but it's usually during the actual labor, not before. And I've never heard of. I just thought that was fascinating.
I've never heard of it, but I have diagnosed myself. After watching this, never.
She didn't even know to need to go to WebMD. No, she
Nope.
just watched Call the Midwife. No,
Yes,
I've
I
got
did.
that.
I've
I've
got
got
that for
tocophobia.
Just another public service
I
announcement
can
provided.
love it, but I can't have it.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh goodness. All right, so, but I guess he can't. Mr. Dobson can't break down the door, and
Yeah.
says maybe not. She's got the bolt and everything, which I thought was interesting. Really, they got on the
On the
inside.
bathroom?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, right, that was convenient. But anyway, so Lucy gets called, and she decides she's going to try to talk her out of that room. And again, I'm I'm sure this is why they hired Lucy, but I'm buying all this compassion just
Yeah.
oozing out of her, and just I'm listening to her, and I'm going, yeah, I'd open the door.
Yeah.
I'd open
Well,
the
I
door.
mean, earlier on, one of their first conversations was, "Tell me exact how you're feeling." Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me
Came
how
in the
you're
bathroom.
really feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
Gave Mrs. Dobson the opportunity to really
listen.
kind of come through and express what exactly is going on.
Yeah.
You know.
Ouch.
And so then
But
She
'cause
comes out.
she comes out of the bathroom.
Because I didn't realize that you just said that. I mean, it's clearly obvious from the episode, but I just really put it together. She's not talked to anybody about
it,
this
no.
for 3 years.
And they've all dismissed whatever
Yeah.
discomfort she's had,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I mean, and one
so-
of the first lines we hear from her is that he's talking about what Mr. Dobson's asking her a question and stuff, and she says, "Well, with Michael, the first child, I didn't know what was ahead. Now I
Right.
do."
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm just going, whoa.
And I love because that speaks to, because they're always saying how after the first one you forget the pain
yes.
and you want the second
Exactly.
one, and so
Oh,
they
right.
because that's always like sort
Yeah.
of the moniker that goes around, and
Yeah.
obviously that's not the case for
No,
everybody,
no,
and
right.
this was a
Clearly,
situation.
of course, not every case uses the big metal forceps
Yeah.
either. So
All the love in the world didn't make that go away.
that's right. So Lucy finally gets her out, and then I thought it was great that Sheila. So we had Lucy
Yeah.
was coaching and Sheila was catching, which I thought was
Yeah.
nice.
And the dudes in the other
dudes in the other
room.
room, exactly.
And he
Because you know this is
recognized it.
ladies' business.
That's right. It was good to see Sheila on the business end too, because
Yeah.
It's
It's been a while. She's
That's
usually
right.
in the office, like filling
Yeah.
out cards and stuff.
Yeah,
So
dude,
yeah.
it was great. I'm glad she was there. That was terrific.
Caught
Because
that.
and we also made the point because Trixie had left.
Yes.
They were down a person.
Right.
Midwife. So boom,
Pop
Yeah.
one in.
Worked
she
out nicely.
comes off the bench.
Yep.
Saves one for the team.
You
Nice.
can do this. You can breathe this,
This
baby,
baby
out.
out.
Which I thought was very interesting. The terminology is breathe this baby, 'cause
Yeah.
it's all about
It's what you
inspiration,
do.
spirit, all that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
all about the breath and everything. That was kind of cool.
Oof.
Yeah. Good birth to, and I have to say, the look of relief when that child was born on Eunice's face was, for me, was priceless.
Yep.
The way she summoned that and presented that, it was like, wow.
Because it was instant.
Oh,
the change.
yeah,
it was before
amazing.
and after.
Amazing. What a great moment for her. And then a secondary moment when she saw the child,
the
that
baby.
instantly,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's where the pain went
Then
away.
the pain went away.
Yeah, and it was all about the love.
It was
And she says,
healing.
I did it.
Yeah.
Call the Midwife, the official Call the Midwife Twitter tweets that little clip
Oh, really?
of her moment of relief. So if
Oh,
you guys
wow.
want to watch it again, you can see it on
Great.
Twitter.
Yeah, it's
really
just a
neat.
great moment. Great job
Yeah.
that
She was
Eunice did on
brilliant.
that. Yeah, she was. She was really,
really
really
I
good.
did it, and I'm so proud of you. That was when I was like, that's what did it for me. Yep. Yep. Oh,
I
Tammy
finally
got her
released
moment.
all my muscles and was
Yeah.
relaxed
exactly.
because I'd been clenched the entire time.
Yep.
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 Yeah, there is a clinch factor on that one.
Yeah,
wasn't there?
it was rough. Poor girl.
So you guys kind of went through your own labor on this one.
Yes, because you're standing there, but that's why she embodied it so well.
Yeah.
Physically, not just, I mean, obviously emotionally in her eyes and all of that, but like physically, just the tension of trying to hold on to
Yeah.
something you have zero control over because
Yeah.
it's going to come whether
Yeah.
you want it or not.
Yeah, because Mother
So,
Nature's taking over
yeah.
anyway. You can either get on the ride or not, but
Yeah.
one way's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So the baby's born, and that's it for that
She,
storyline, yeah?
baby girl.
The baby,
Baby
girl,
girl.
absolutely. So, and that's and then we get the little epilogue that they didn't have.
She
any
had
other
no more
children.
kids.
That's it. I'm tapping out.
Two and
I'm
out.
She
done.
went to that clinic and got those birth control pills.
Make sure that sheet did not break again.
No more sheets
Exactly.
involved.
So, but they had their family now.
Yeah.
So that was nice. That was nice. And I have to say, I'm glad that Mr. Dobson stepped up to the plate with the mom, and he was there the whole, and I just thought it was a very well crafted storyline. I liked that
Agreed.
one.
I also
enjoyed
liked
it.
their apartment.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
And they
another
had a
thing. They had a phone. Yeah, we haven't seen this side of
Right?
Poplar.
Because the first thing I thought when he's like banging on the door is like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he's got to leave her and go call
Yeah,
somebody because they
yeah.
always have to leave to go
Yeah.
make a call. And
Oh,
he
no.
walks to the desk.
But
had a phone.
Yeah, he had a room. They
had
had
his own phone.
the apartment was well appointed, and they had I think, looked at least 2 bedrooms.
Yes.
And
Kid
the
had
phone, and
toys.
he had a
Living
nice
room,
suit and tie and
yeah.
everything. It's like
New
whoa,
furniture.
Very nice
Where in
furniture.
Poplar is this? I'm not
Exactly.
familiar.
This was the come up. These were the new.
Moving on up.
New money.
Exactly,
in Poplar.
new money in Poplar. That was nice. That was
I
good,
was so
nice
happy.
change there.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
on the flip side of that, let's
Yes.
move on to we're not in the best of places to live.
Poor
Because
Arde.
Arde, Babiaro, who we first find him, he's like a stowaway of some sort on the
Yeah.
docks, and
But except that he was a sailor, so
yeah, he was a sailor, but
sailors.
it looked
But
where
yeah,
he
it
was
looked
like,
like
he was a
he-
stowaway. He
yeah,
was amongst all the laden goods or whatever it was, and they And of
broomed
course,
him out.
clearly something wrong with him, and they broomed him out. Exactly. It was just, where's the pitchfork? I was just waiting for that. It's like, wow, yeah.
Like, geez, you couldn't just be like, hey, dude, you got to get off.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah, you can't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
treat
you know,
him like he's a bug.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you
Or a
think,
rat.
and you know, again, that was good because it puts us in like, would we do that? Because back then, and you know, even Phyllis makes the point later on, the big scare they had
Yeah,
last year,
just had a
whatever.
scare, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going, yeah, people would freak out. They do
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah, I'd freak
Clearly.
out now.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said smallpox is roaming down North Hollywood.
Yeah, is that what?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah. That's right.
I would have given him the bread though. I probably would have just thrown it. Maybe it's like a football. It's just here, you know. But I would have.
But he like set the whole thing.
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait.
But of course he can't because he's the innocent. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get on to so he obviously has to find another place to stay. He tries to find like he's asking to bring in the street. You know, where's the
Corners,
Seamen's
something, yeah.
mission or whatever, the Seamen's Rest or whatever he's looking for. And nobody. I like the way they shot that too because we didn't see his face. We just saw everybody's reaction to it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was nice. It's like, okay, yeah, and everybody's, oh no. They can't even direct him. They can't even point.
no,
They
you
can't
can't
shout
say.
and go that way.
Yeah, that way, go.
that way.
Over there, fast.
Because wouldn't that be the way you go? No, go in the other direction. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Not this way, that
No,
way.
but they don't have nothing to do with it.
Nope.
Nothing
You
to
said semen.
Grow up, Tamara.
No, not gonna.
Oh,
It makes me laugh.
yeah, grown-ups.
I'm surrounded by immaturity. So,
Right.
so you know.
Because I'm pretty sure you said that
Yeah,
joke.
I know.
Yesterday.
So he does find his way to the mission.
Yes.
Which I thought, and again, I know we've been there before in other episodes, but again, I didn't really put it together. There's got to be a place for seamen to stay because they don't have homes or anything. They don't have hotels. Sailors, thank you.
Yeah.
Shoremen, whatever.
Isn't that where the television went?
Television.
Yeah. So, but it was weird. I don't remember being inside one of the rooms and it
Yeah,
just
I don't
didn't.
think so
I just
either,
didn't
yeah.
imagine what it would have been like, but it looked like a hostel.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then of course we have the drunken sailor on the drunken sailor. It's all tatted out and everything. I was like, yeah, okay, that's a sailor. Yeah,
works,
sure, why
yeah.
not? Yeah.
I bought it.
He drops in bed. He's
Yeah.
falling there, and he's just holding onto his crucifix
Yeah.
and praying.
Yeah, and I thought, again, part of just his manner, his way, the actor was just doing a fabulous job. I was just buying it. I didn't know anything about it, but I knew that I bought completely that this was important. And it wasn't just because he's in a bad state. It seemed like this was a parcel to him.
Yeah.
And I bought that completely from the get-go. I mean, this guy really embodied that, so I thought that was very successful. And of course, when the drunk guy comes back in, he's finally, it's like, why are you messing with? Leave the guy alone. Really, it's like,
What's he doing?
But he's a drunk guy, so yeah.
Drunk and belligerent.
Yeah, so
he
we,
needed
and we have to
stir
get him
stuff
out of
up.
there so
Yeah.
that Reggie can find him. So he kicks him out, and then where can he go? So he goes underground, literally underground.
Literally underground, right?
So, and that's where Reggie sees him through the grates and everything like that. And
Sidebar: I've always wondered what those areas look like because you see them from the
Underneath,
street
yeah,
level,
holds
you
and
know,
stuff like that,
the
yeah.
grates and things like that. I've always wondered what it looks like underneath,
Really
and so
to
that
go
was
down there.
well,
was
in docks they'd be
interesting
areas for goods and holds and stuff and for laden stuff. And
to get things from
yeah,
the street
exactly.
level down.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's just interesting.
Yeah, and he's Reggie's ostensibly off to take bread
Take
to
bread to
Fred,
Fred.
bread to Fred. And then that's when he sees him. And then again, because of his innocence and curiosity, he goes downstairs, and I'm going, oh, and it would be, and I'm going, Reggie, please wait, okay, wait, because all we know is we think he's got smallpox. Everybody thinks he's got smallpox. So I'm going, wait, don't go inside the room, Reggie.
Exactly. Then you're like, whew, he
Yeah,
listened
exactly.
to him and followed
And it-
instruction, like don't touch me.
Exactly, and
yeah.
kudos to that guy
Yeah.
because he, in his mind, he doesn't want to spread it all and
Yeah,
everything
he
like
doesn't
that.
want to hurt anybody.
Exactly, he's no interest in that.
Yeah.
So, and as desperate as he is, as hungry as he is, he doesn't want this to befall anybody else. So, and Reggie, thankfully, doesn't. And so I did bring the siren leaf because it's like, no, don't mess with Reggie.
No.
You can mess with anybody, just
No,
don't mess with
do
Reggie.
not.
Give him smallpox. Like, come on.
Exactly. So we don't want that to happen. But he gives him the bread, and then the other thing was when he said, I need help, but but it has to be a secret. And I'm going, oh, you can't give a secret. Don't put that pressure on Reggie. And why doesn't he just say, go get a doctor?
Get a doctor. That's what I just was like, why?
But he doesn't have presence. Maybe he's just so sick. He's ill. He's not thinking right.
Well, I know he said at some point they'll send me or whatever. He didn't want to get sent away, I guess.
Yeah, he says
so
it to
was worried
Phyllis.
that he was gonna be shipped, but they would put him in, give him medicine or something first.
Right, and we can also infer because he was broomed out of the hole the first time and then kicked out of the sailors' quarters the next time that he was afraid to be with anybody, and the only person he could see that wouldn't harm him is Reggie. So maybe he wasn't ready to take the step of, hey, get me some help. But he was enough to say he needed help, and I'm just going. I thought just say you need a doctor. Go get a doctor.
Go tell the doctor.
Well, he said. I mean, this is what he said. Don't come near me. You're a good man, but please, you must go from me now. They will chase you.
Yeah.
To which Reggie replies, "I've been chased."
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. What?
Yeah,
I know. Wasn't that brutal?
Daniel Laurie is the actor, by the way, who plays Reggie. We've talked about him before, and he's so wonderful. But I wanted to talk about that moment where Reggie's standing sort of in the light in the hallway, and he's looking into our day, and the look on his face. He cocks his head a little bit, and his face changes, and it was an incredibly beautiful moment of. Oh, guess what? Kindness and compassion. The things I love about the show.
And I think he recognized being the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So. I just thought that was an incredibly beautiful moment from Daniel Laurie. He's so good, and I love him in the show, and so I just wanted to say that. I've been chased. He knows what that is.
Even Arday's face, of course he had all the pox or whatever it was we learned later. But just in his eyes and everything, I'm just going, and I thought, again, the way they shot it, because they had Reggie standing and they had him in the lower position and everything and all that other stuff.
And the lightness in the dark.
Yes, exactly. I just thought, okay, very well put together cinematically. And it already has all that imbued with it. And so it's like, and then his sense, his timing and his language and the way he was saying, it's not safe, and they'll chase you too. And he's more concerned about him, even in the state he's in. So again, that grasping of the cross and the prayers that go, that's just part and parcel. He's lived that life. So, good stuff. So, of course, when he doesn't come home with the cake, Violet all of a sudden is like, well, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
What's up?
Dundee cake.
Yeah, the Dundee cake. Thank you. Exactly, the Dundee. Which I don't know what a Dundee cake is, but it looked like it had almonds on it.
Pretty sure secret agent's telling us any second.
Exactly, that would be nice to know.
It has almonds in it, obviously.
Almonds, and it looked tasty.
It's something sweet.
Or they liked it. Then again, I think at that moment he would have liked anything.
He was hungry.
But because the Dundee cake doesn't come home with Reggie, Violet's, her
hackles are up.
That's it. Something's up. Somebody's taking advantage of Reggie. No. And then there's a secret involved. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
So and then of course they go to Doc Turner, and I don't know why, because they just assumed that he'd bumped into the guy.
Well, they'd heard.
They were worried about this.
Word was out in town that there was a man with smallpox around.
So they just make
make
the assumption that he may have come in contact. But anyway, so they take him to Doc Turner, and Doc Turner finds nothing. Everything is fine, and they still can't get the secret out of him. Again, way to go, Reggie. That's right. Yeah, there you go. He missed it. It's a friend. Until of course
cracks him.
Phyllis. She sees him.
They're
and
old
they
chums.
have. Well, they are old chums.
Yeah.
They've been with the Boy Scouts or whatever the term is.
The Cubs.
Yeah, is that what they are?
Cub
Scouts? Because they have the same.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
Cubs.
term was. The Scouts and stuff. And she gets him to crack.
Well, he whispered it, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Ooh. It's got currants, sultanas, also known as golden raisins in America,
Thank you.
and almonds in it. The Dundee cake. Sometimes fruit peel may be added to it.
Ooh.
It's Scottish.
Clearly,
Which we probably
Dundee.
knew, Dundee. And mass-produced by the marmalade company called Keeler's Marmalade.
Okay.
Well, there you have
Sounds
We're
it.
gonna have to
delicious.
find some.
Learn something
Get
new
some
every
shipped
day.
to us.
Yeah, maybe
Dundee
somebody
cake.
could send us some.
know.
Somebody,
I heard
anybody.
I heard it's really tasty of leprosy.
We'll
It's
give you
just delicious.
we'll give you the AfterBuzz address if you want.
The cake.
So since Phyllis finds out that he's underground and she knows where to go, she goes and finds him. And again, I thought this was done very well.
Oh yeah.
Two things I want to say about Phyllis. The way she handled this was great, the actor. And then the way, and I'll talk about that. But
Yep.
just one other thing I'll say about what she did this week in this episode that we'll get to later. But so she goes downstairs and she finds him, and this looks like he's on his deathbed. He looks like he's barely breathing.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't responsive.
He wasn't exactly. Yeah.
And I was, I was thinking about that. Obviously, we saw the manifestation of these marks on his
Pasta, yeah,
face,
whatever they were.
but what else is going on? First of all,
we
he's
don't
also
know.
not eaten much,
Yeah.
and all it was sort of sugar essentially. So there can't be
bread and sugar,
a lot of fortification in there
Well, no, because tea's fortified. So I imagine this cake
with the sugar.
with the sugar.
Sugar.
Fortified.
Yes, fortified sugar. For sure.
But yeah, I mean, the other thing that they were checking for Reggie for when he was in the hospital was, did he have a fever?
Fever, yeah.
So if nothing else, we
Yeah.
know that fever was
he
going to
might
be.
have
Arde looked like he
expected.
was feverish. He looked like he had
Yeah.
some sort of.
I mean, he's been
Yeah.
sleeping outside,
Yeah,
and
he's
God
got-
knows where
yeah,
else.
exactly.
So,
And he looked in really bad
Yeah.
shape, and not
Yeah.
just because of the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his eyes are barely open. Yeah.
By the way, apparently a Dundee cake is the Queen's favorite cake.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
there you have it.
very
Thank
good.
you to our researchers.
Fancy.
More than one. We had
That's
more
right.
than one. Thank you.
Where are we? Oh, so as Phyllis finds him, and then she's so good with him, the way she's talking about how you might need some help, and and so I don't know what she sees, but she either clearly knows that this isn't small, because even from the get-go, she's the one that says, I don't think that's
It's
what
small, but
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess they
Yeah,
have
right
a clear
away.
idea of
Yeah,
what the smallpox
yeah.
are.
But what was also nice is that he was now willing to accept the help, and whereas before he didn't want anybody to come near him, whatever it
Yeah.
was, and maybe it was because she was a nurse, who knows? But she's got him stowed away again in her car,
Locked away in her car
I
with
know.
a
travel
travel
blanket.
blanket
Under a
over.
blanket, yeah.
So, and thankfully, we learned that he doesn't have smallpox. He's been brought to Nonnatus House, and this was great too, because when they were bringing him down the hall, and again, just to see him, and
The nuns,
yeah,
and
and the light,
praying, and the
in
light, and
hallway,
you're
it's
in
like,
this hallway. It's
and
like,
and now he sees faces that aren't scared of him. He's and they're
Yes.
looking at him, and they're
There's just the love that's wrapped
exactly.
around everything that is Nonnatus House.
yes, everything juxtaposed there. And I thought the picture of Monica Joan in the chapel, and just in her devotional, whatever she's
Yeah.
doing. Again, obviously that spoke to him in some fashion, because he says, "My prayers have
Been
been
answered.
answered."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he saw himself in her, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Backing up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't send me home because I have no home to go
God,
to.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I forgot that. Yeah.
And
Oh
then
my
she takes him
God.
to Nonnatus, where he not only is not cast out, but it's incredibly
really
homey.
Yeah. Don't take me home,
space.
because that one was a killer.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a home to go to. Ugh. But that turns out, I mean, I liked the parallel, because we saw Monica Joan in the chapel, and later on we see him doing his devotional in the chapel, and the way she comes up to him.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And you have been cast out because of your infirmity, and he says he was cast out before that. And you
My
learn
lot
about-
was to
the
walk alone,
story.
he was saying.
Yeah, and you're just going, oh my God, because of oil, he's cast out of his home and cast adrift is the way he said it,
Yes.
and metaphorically and literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then Monica Joan
She
says,
says,
none of
"None of
us
us."
is cast adrift in our faith.
and our cross can be our anchor.
Yeah.
You okay? You guys stop.
That was a lot.
Question, John, would you try to say no to Nurse Crane?
Would I say no to Nurse Crane?
You got to
What,
go
in
with
that-
her.
Oh yeah, I gotta go with her. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't say no to her.
Yeah, you can't say no.
Absolutely.
I would try. I'd probably try.
would
Say,
try
get
to
away from me. Yeah,
resist?
yeah, exactly.
You resist.
I would have a real hard time saying no to Julian. I know that because I've our nuns who live near us.
Oh, yeah.
You
can't say no to
No, I can't say no.
No, you
It's
can't.
like,
No, you
I
can't.
can't. They always need something taken care of. So yeah, sure, I'll be right there.
Whatever
Anything you
need.
want.
Yeah, whatever you need. They're 97, and so it's it's whatever you need, I'll be there.
Yeah.
So, and they know it too.
Yeah, they do.
They know it.
John,
Yeah.
we're special prayers for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And we need a light bulb.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Yeah, I got nothing with that.
No
I
resistance.
can't. Yeah, it's
No,
futile.
not
It's
at all.
business, it's
You
futile.
can't say no to the Lord.
Exactly. So, but the way she was with him, with Arde, was just incredibly heartwarming.
Yeah.
and
Even when she was dressing his wounds in
Yeah.
wherever that
Attending
is,
to
and
him,
then
yeah,
Julian comes
exactly.
in and says, "You can eat
You
with
can
us."
have meals with us.
Yes, we have a room here, and I like the fact that, again, he's just, because he thinks that he deserves to walk alone. He doesn't even think he
Yeah.
deserves to be
Be
there.
there. be there, eat
And
with
she
them.
says, no,
and
we
he
have an
would-
empty room. You'll stay here and you can eat with
No.
us. And he's like, and that's
What?
too
Wait,
much for him.
what?
He's like, I can go back under the street.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'll go back where I came
just
from.
go under the
Thanks.
street.
I
Yeah.
can wait there for a few
He's
more
like
days.
Job, for crying out loud, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah.
all right. But they find a spot for him. And then Monica Joan, when they're talking about it at breakfast, and they say that they found a spot for him, and she's all, wait, he has to go?
I know.
I finally got a friend.
Friend.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
she
so
and
deep
Reggie,
in their
exactly.
devotionals,
And
yeah.
Arde wants him to come to Reggie wants him to come to the picnic and the whole thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's
losing
so,
his friend.
yeah, he's his friend. And, you know, the devotional, yeah.
They had found each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Especially after last week with Monica Joan, you're like, yay, she's got
Yes.
somebody to bond with.
But-
and
but-
feel good about.
But the way they wrapped that up was so nicely for them to have that moment so that she, because, you know, he gives, you know, she, as they're leaving, she's saying goodbye. She gives him her Bible and he gives the
Yes.
cross
Yes.
and says the whole thing about, you know, what is it? What is his line?
you,
Your prayers have
Prayers have
sent
sent-
me on a firm path, set me on a firm path to wellness. May
Yeah.
it be the same blessing for you.
Yeah,
was from
and
path
you
to
know that's
wellness.
what gives, you know, we haven't seen it yet, but we assume that that's what's going to give her the strength to go under the knife, so to speak,
Yes.
and
Take
have
care
to
of
take.
it.
And now, because they set up earlier in the show that she received the letter,
Confirmation of her surgery, yes.
and she was still
nervous and
clearly.
stressed, and yeah.
And we hope that this interlude with Arde has given her the strength and the faith,
Giving her the peace.
Exactly.
To move forward.
and we can infer that that's what's going to happen. That was great. You know,
was beautiful.
Wasn't it beautiful? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
wonderfully done.
Yeah. It's like love really does heal everything.
Yeah. All right, but we have to talk about. Oh, what was the one thing that Dr. Turner says? Kindness. He says it to Reggie.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason why Reggie
Is not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, because he's worried. He didn't tell the secret, but he's worried. And Dr. Turner's examining. Am I in trouble? And Dr. Turner says, "You were being kind." And the line is, what is it? The
I don't know.
line is-
You wrote it down
Yeah,
because I didn't.
yeah,
it's
let me
something
write
like
it down.
nobody gets
Gets
punished
punished
for
for
kindness.
kindness.
Yeah, and I
right?
went, what?
All the time.
Excuse
buddy,
me.
All the time.
Hello? Have you watched Call the Midwife, Dr. Turner?
Kindness gets slapped down every
No
day.
good deed. Do you know the
Hello.
exactly?
Exactly.
But in this world, you know, it's like no. I mean, in the long term, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going. Yeah, I've been pegged a lot for doing something kind. I've paid a price,
We all have.
but it
all
worked
been
anyway. I mean, it worked with Reggie because obviously you don't want Reggie not doing
Yeah.
kind things. So, but anyway, I just thought that was hysterical because I went, oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that at all? You felt that?
It's
You
like,
didn't
well,
think
it's
that.
really
I
sweet of
didn't
you to
either.
think that.
Yeah, it's really, really
Yes.
sweet of you to think that.
That's
Really
sweet.
sweet of you.
Yeah,
I
that's
wish
nice.
it were the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but side note, I loved Reggie when he was right before he tells Phyllis
Yeah.
where he is.
Right.
I don't have the line, but she came in and she said, "I have one thing to say to you," and
No,
he was like,
there-
"No, baby, that's two."
Yeah, she said, there's one thing you and I don't like. It's fessing and fretting or something like that. And
Yeah,
she said,
but
that's
it's like,
two.
That's two.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
smarty pants.
Sharp. Look at
I
this.
loved it.
Boom,
It
boom.
was so good.
Set it up. He hit it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hit it
Thank
out
you,
of the park.
Reggie.
Yep.
Good job on that.
Exactly.
Go, Reggie.
All right. So since we're on the Reggie and the picnic, so Phyllis gets pegged to find money for the picnic.
No. Violet.
But, yeah, what did I say, Phyllis?
Phyllis,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah,
Violet. does,
Violet.
obviously, yeah, because you know, she's got all these old files and records
Yeah,
that
because
she has
she's
to go
so
through.
good at arranging the beauty
Sure.
pageant and tracking down where the
Yeah,
money was
exactly. And
for
she
this
found
former alderman who's passed out.
9 and 6.
9 and 6.
For the picnic, and I went, whoa, we're gonna have a rip roaring
It's gonna be
picnic.
a picnic.
Yeah, and because she's so good at finding the money, now they put her in charge of it. so she
Yeah,
doesn't-
and again, no good deed.
Exactly.
Right there. Boom.
That's right in there.
Yeah. So, and of course, she enlists Fred, and they're off, and all the people, and they were, you know, getting all these donations or whatever. it
List
is,
as long as her
exactly,
arm.
Exactly.
Things happening.
And I look at Violet, and I just think she's so good at getting, you know, because remember she got Lucy involved, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
They
made her a
pull
list.
people in. Yep.
Yeah. Reggie, I have a list as long as my arm.
Arm, exactly.
This is how good she is. She's good at getting everybody
Everybody
else
else.
involved and enrolling them. Yeah.
She had a map.
Yeah,
Way to
I was
go.
just gonna say, I love when
Exactly.
she had the war map. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're in this section, you're in this section, you're here, come back to HQ. Like, what? It's a picnic.
We'll set up
what is
base camp.
happening?
We'll make our final assault. Yeah.
HQ.
Yeah. let's do some recon.
Oh, it was great.
It was great. It was
It
great.
was.
And then, of course, later on, we get everything set up. The posters going up and everything.
Yeah.
We get them on the bus, and then got the 2 buckets.
2 buckets. Got the chum bucket,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
so to speak,
Oh man.
and the sawdust bucket.
Yes. Oh my God. So yeah.
And Fred with his odds are.
Yeah.
Couple of things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Be ready.
One
Oh,
or
I'm
two.
ready. Because, why? Because she's in charge of the Cub
She's in
Scouts.
charge.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And what are the Cub Scouts? Always prepared.
Yeah. Even with a catapult. Is that what they called those? We call them
Yeah,
slingshots. Is they
slingshot,
called a
yes.
catapult?
Yeah,
Is that
I
what it
think
was?
so.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
catapult.
Yeah.
Slingshots. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, and they take off, and then who, because earlier in the episode we have Trixie.
Oh,
leaving,
yeah. Trixie's leaving. She's taking a flight to Portofino.
which is a whole,
Portofino.
they use that as their bookends, talking about flight, and there
Yeah.
are many reasons to take flight, and sometimes it takes us to a destination, sometimes we're hiding, so that's the thing, and Trixie's not really hiding; she's actually going to find herself again, to find her true sense, so that she can overcome her issues with alcohol, etc. And then on her way out, she sees.
Christopher.
There you go, Tamara. What did you think?
He looked very handsome
I
today.
know, right? In his little car, he was
Yeah, he looked really, he
like
looked
more
extra
than normal.
handsome.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I
Didn't he?
agreed. I
Yes.
was like, I never thought he was that. Oh, okay.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said.
Oh my gosh, we are so
Simpatico. I can't believe you both.
It was that energy he was setting off for loving her, so wanting her to be better and taken care of. 'Cause she
And he
could've
probably
just-
had a new haircut or
That too.
something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he looks good. So he looks good.
He looks
He
really
did.
good.
I don't know
He
what
did.
because he always has a suit. Like he's always dressed and he's in his car, and I don't know, but it was I don't know.
He looked extra good.
They lit him real
yeah,
nicely.
yeah, something.
Maybe we're both ovulating or something. I don't know.
That's it.
Actually, that makes
There you go.
much more sense.
You're probably in sync. Yeah. You spend so much time together. I'm guessing that's it. Yep.
Oh, those darn
So
hormones.
somebody better call the midwife.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
It is amazing what a
he-
haircut can do.
He did look good. All right. So
He looks great.
And,
And
we
she
learned-
looks great also.
She did.
Yes.
She's going to be there for months. She's going to Portofino, and Courtney, you're going.
I was like, I'll go to rehab in Portofino. Like,
Sure.
what? And she's only staying while it's warm. She's not.
Yeah,
She didn't bring
yeah.
those cashmere sweaters. So I was like, oh, okay.
And apparently her godmother is a clothes horse like she is.
Yes. 4
And
outfits
with
a day.
did she say the accessories too?
With
Yeah,
accessories.
yeah,
accessories, 4 outfits a day.
Yeah,
Mhm, yeah,
absolutely.
nice. So, yeah, which-
Do not want to.
yeah. So, but she wasn't sure about how long she was going to stay. Do you want to share with the
We
rest
got
of
an
the?
agreement with a tweet totally agree about Christopher, and she's not ovulating.
There you go.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So
we
it
have
was-
consensus.
So 2 out of 3
Good
women
observations.
are
on our
ovulating and
parts.
still thinking. Okay.
All right.
So she's not sure. She's not. I don't know if she was being cagey or she's just not sure how long she's going to be because
Yeah.
maybe she just doesn't know how
Doesn't
long
know
this is
how
going
long
to
it's gonna
take.
take.
Yeah, I don't know that
but
you can put a time
time
frame
Well,
on
something
that.
yeah.
these days rehab is a certain
It's
amount of
30
time.
days
Exactly.
if you can last, and then yeah.
We've got it figured out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he says, when you're coming back, let me know and I'll collect you.
And you'll come
as
together.
friends.
As a
Well,
friend.
He agreed to ask
Yeah, exactly.
friends after
Yeah,
she
exactly.
said, because he's still thinking, no, I'm about to make you my woman. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's what he'll be thinking about
Yeah.
for the next couple of months. How am I
How
going to do
can
this?
I change her mind?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that when she gets back there, do you think they'll work this out or?
I don't know.
The way they let it go, I don't really see how that should come
I'm
back
hoping that
around.
it's done. I'm hoping that I want her Trixie to find something that there isn't an
Yeah.
entanglement. That she finds something that
You want her to find a new man.
Yes.
But that wouldn't happen until like next season.
Yeah, so what? That's okay.
I don't know. I don't think it would be honest if they got back together. Like I feel like it would be to make us happy,
Yeah.
not because it makes sense with the story.
But I love the
I like
idea
knowing Helen George is very happy, in her life
that, yeah. Okay.
with her new baby and her handsome husband.
That's
Or
helpful.
partner, rather. I don't know that they're married.
Okay.
I don't know. I just, as far as I know, we're a little bit getting into predictions, but Trixie not living at Nonnatus
Yeah.
and having like the whole chummy kind of
Right,
life.
yeah.
That's a big shift
Yeah.
at the house, and so I'm not sure I could get behind that, just from the standpoint of like how it changes the community.
Well, I'm not saying that she's gonna, move out. She's gonna find a new guy.
Just find a new
And
guy.
I'm not saying
Have
I'm
a
gonna,
new love
Yeah, they're gonna have
interest.
they weren't necessarily gonna get married. And
So you just want her to hook up?
no.
John,
She'll,
like, what
she'll
are we
date
doing?
another guy.
She's a good girl.
Sure. Yeah, we learned that. She's not so nice. But we learned. We learned. No, I'm just saying next season, maybe next season.
Maybe next
She'll find
season.
another guy. They'll date for a while. They don't have to get married right away. They could take, have a long
Then
courtship. So we
just
could
throw
we could do
away
that.
Chris after he's looking all good and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but we've already set him up. He's got the family. He's got the daughter. I mean,
He doesn't want her.
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife. They're not back together.
Ex-wife. Not even estranged wife. Ex-wife.
Yeah.
Kind of a prediction
What?
from the UK right now. Maybe she'll bring a man back with her
Ooh,
from.
No,
an
girl.
Italian.
No. You do not bring somebody back from rehab. That's all bad.
That is so true.
That's all bad.
I don't know that they were suggesting rehab, but from Italy.
Italy.
From
When she
Portofino.
finishes rehab, she goes down to Nice.
There's like a
That's-
rule.
there's
You're not
a-
supposed to like mess
for
with
a year.
people.
At
while-
the end of the
yeah.
summer, she goes to Nice. She's lying on the beach. She
No.
finds the gelato man.
The
You're a nurse. You getting a gelato?
Wow.
All right.
Well, it is Portofino. It's warm
Oh,
at that time of year.
man.
So, okay.
Okay,
All right.
sure.
All right. So this is interesting. This is interesting. All right. But okay. So the other thing I wanted to mention about Phyllis is when they're saying goodbye, she and Valerie coming out to say goodbye.
Right. So
Yes.
because Trixie snuck out.
She
Yes.
snuck out, left a load of laundry
In the
in the
corner.
corner,
Love
and
that.
snuck
Yeah.
out. She's in the car. She's ready to leave, and Phyllis and Valerie come running out and stuff. They say, "Oh, we have to
In
say
their
goodbye."
curlers.
In their clothes. I thought it was great. That was
Bathrobe.
for me.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Now that fashion I was aware of because that was awesome.
caught that.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm glad they were in their kerners and their robes. I mean, because that says so much. I'm willing to go out in public because I want to say goodbye to you.
goodbye.
I don't want you to leave
Yeah.
without saying goodbye. I'm going, that's great.
Yeah.
That was fabulous. And then when they were saying goodbye and the look on Phyllis's face when
As
she's
she
waving.
drove off.
There
The
was
last
all
look
that-
at Val and
oh,
Phyllis.
there was
The
all this.
collective
Oh my
sigh.
God, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was wonderful because you
Yeah.
could see all the sadness and
The whole round.
Yeah,
Like,
it
is
was
she going
all
to be
there.
okay? Will she
Exactly.
actually come back? Like,
yes,
there
all
was
that
so
uncertainty.
much.
Yeah, I thought that was great, and it's just a small little moment,
Yeah.
but she carried the entire moment with that look. I thought it was
sure.
great.
Phyllis's face is what I have
Yeah,
in
it
my
was
note.
terrific.
Yeah.
It was terrific. Another thing we need to talk about is Barbara. So Barbara and
Barbara
Tom.
and Tom are
Babs is
back.
back.
Yeah, they're back.
They
so.
just popped up.
That's right. And just as everything, I thought it was great. Nobody at the end. Hey, hello, buzz, buzz, buzz. Nobody answering.
there.
Well, yeah. Well,
But you
hey,
didn't want to tell anybody.
that's right. You didn't want to make a big thing.
Got what you wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, we, who was it that came out?
Winifred.
Oh.
Winifred,
Winifred,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, she comes out and she's, but, oh,
like,
hey, all
"Sorry."
right, so you gotta go.
Like, oh, they're over there.
Yeah, exactly. Water broke, gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, so do they just not have church when he's gone?
No, they did. Didn't they have somebody else? We just never met
It's
him.
like suddenly available now, like, because didn't they say something about it's all musty in the home or
Oh,
whatever that
yeah,
they were
did have
living
something
in?
like- yeah, I don't know.
So I was like, oh, churches
Maybe
you just don't get church while they go
No,
home.
I'm
Or
sure
maybe
they
you
had
have to
somebody
go.
else. We just didn't learn of this person. I mean, they lived at a different place. They were on some manse, in some manse
I
somewhere.
was just curious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they went off to the next town.
Yeah, exactly. They got shipped to Birmingham.
Next borough over.
They just traded.
They just switched.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Got it.
So they make it to the picnic, and so we did have some fun there.
Yes.
So it was nice to see
People
them back.
peeing in the bushes
Welcome back
and-
because they also set up. We're one down, and then not anymore.
Not
We're back for good.
We're
Right.
whole again.
Yeah,
Yes.
their mission is accomplished in Birmingham. I wonder what happened in Birmingham
what
that they
was
got
the
it done so quickly.
mission?
So because we're months later, because last time we
was
started that season
cold.
It
was
was
now
very
it's
cold,
hot.
the worst
And now
cold
it's
spell,
spring, yeah.
absolutely. And then this is months later.
We're drinking
And-
hot tea.
That's
because
right.
It's hot.
Exactly. And or if you have Lucy's idea, you can have coffee with
Coffee
salt.
and salt.
Which sounds.
That sounds
I'm going to try that
awful.
as soon as we get done.
Yeah, because you love coffee so much to begin with. Salt is an anti-bitter agent, just
Yeah.
So maybe that was the thinking behind
But,
it.
ooh.
Salty coffee. I mean, I'm sure it's not a lot of salt in it.
Yeah. Well, she says a dash.
A
so.
dash. Yeah.
Well,
But I guess if you're in Jamaica and it's hot, you'll try
It'll
anything.
work.
Do whatever you gotta
work.
do.
Yeah. So it's good to see Barb back. We haven't got this.
Yes, of course, of course. And it's nice to see Tom always.
yeah. It's kind of like, why did you even leave? Like, I don't know. It just was.
They have
It
gone
was
for a
like,
couple
boop,
episodes.
gotta go.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
back. I don't know.
Yeah, it
I'm
did
not
seem
that
a little
excited.
odd, but
Yeah.
you know.
But they're back. So
They're
then
back.
we'll see what they
Then
do with
we'll
them.
see what
Well,
they do.
next week, the coming ups were
She
interesting.
should be pregnant soon.
That's right. I wasn't paying attention. I don't really remember.
Phyllis is caught in a fire,
Oh, that's right. There's a fire.
and the building's falling around her.
Yes.
And the fireman did not look like he was in a hurry.
No. Just like, hey,
He
what's
was
going
like,
on?
Yeah, she's like, my friend is in the.
What? Cup of tea?
All right.
What? Yeah.
I'll leave you to it
You
then.
better not hurt
Yeah, leave it
Phyllis.
to it then.
Do not hurt Phyllis.
All right. Any last words about the show before we talk about Tamara stuff?
No.
No, I think
All right,
we're
what do we
good.
call this? This isn't. what
It's
do we-
not exactly news or
Okay.
gossip.
It's just something you wanna
it's
share?
kind of news. It's a
All
news
right.
story. I tweeted out the link for this. It's from the Radio Times, and it's 63 things you don't know about Call the Midwife. 63.
Wow.
It's a lot more than 5. Usually those lists are like 5.
Yeah.
And we, the big fans of Call the Midwife, know most of these. But there were a couple that really caught my eye, and at least one I wanted to share with you, Courtney. Number 6, the nuns are based on the sisters of the Anglican community of St. John the Divine. And the community is still active. And before she died, Jennifer Worth, who wrote the memoir
which
for
is the
which,
show is based on.
she set up a trust for the order so that they receive an income from the profits of the book and the show.
Wow, look at that.
That's so great.
Isn't that incredible?
amazing.
I love that.
That's like in keeping with the show.
It kind
That's
of
so
is.
ridiculous.
Wow. That's awesome.
Number 14, it takes around 7 hours to film a birth.
Wow.
Real infants can only be used for 15 minutes at a time,
Sure.
and so they've got thousands of real babies that have been through the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, not in one birth, but through the show.
Right, through the course of the show.
Thousands of babies in 7 hours?
But,
What?
yeah, I mean, in 15-minute increments, 7 hours.
Yeah, it's not a lot of
takes a
time.
long
Yeah,
time.
That's
yeah,
rough.
'cause just setting things up.
Oof.
is-
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
tedious.
Yeah.
And then one that I found most interesting. Most of the show's guest female characters have highlights in their hair because that is the current, look. And they usually are only on for 1 or 2 episodes. And so the team has to take them to a salon in real life and get their color flattened out, basically,
Okay,
get a
so you-
color wash
So there's no highlights.
so that they don't have highlights.
Mm-hmm.
While they're shooting the show, because they mostly use people's natural hair
Sure.
on the show. And then they have to pay to get the highlights put back in after the shooting. This is the part I find most interesting. This accounts for the largest part of the hair and makeup budget on the show of Call the Midwife. Is
would make sense.
de-highlighting and
And
re-highlighting
re-highlighting
guest stars.
of the show.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's the bulk of the budget.
That's the bulk
Bulk
of
of
the
the
hair
What does
and
that
makeup
say
budget.
for the rest of the hair and makeup that they're doing? All those women. It's like, oh
It's-
my god.
just thought
That's
that was
very expensive. Yeah, it is
hilarious.
hysterical. Yeah.
And when I mentioned this to my sister the other day, she's like, yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive, yeah. That's why I'm surprised they don't just use wigs.
I know.
Because I feel like wigs would be way cheaper.
It's because they're really sticklers. Heidi Thomas is really a stickler
Yeah.
for the look of the show. And they were saying...
Tell them that one you told me about the food. Remember?
Oh, yes. So the regular set dresser was not available for one episode. And
One scene even.
So,
Whatever, go ahead.
So there was a dinner scene involved, and the set dresser put broccoli on the table for the dinner scene. And people didn't eat broccoli in 1959,
Not
apparently,
much, not
when
often,
this
yeah.
when this particular episode came out. And so they had to go back and take the color out
Of
in
the broccoli
post
and-
of the broccoli to make it cauliflower on the table.
Oh, wow.
Because people
Yeah.
didn't eat broccoli like that back then.
That was expensive to do that. That's not
Wow.
cheap. It's
So
like,
yeah,
wow.
take a look
Very
at the
small
list.
Yeah,
detail
exactly.
To like, yeah.
They window shaded. They put it in Picasso.
Exactly. So yeah, so take a look at the list. I tweeted it, or if you
Yeah.
want to find it, it's on
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
That's the kind of stickler. that she
Yeah.
is. So,
Yeah.
Way to go.
That's why
Indeed.
it's so fantastic.
It is. It's
Alright.
so interesting. Yeah, so we got tears. People talked about what a cold-hearted
Bastard I was.
bastard you were
Right.
last week.
Oh, because they
Because they didn't get you.
Because I didn't cry.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
didn't cry.
yeah.
Did you cry at all this week? Did
Yeah, and I don't, it's not like I cried all of them
Yeah.
and stuff, but there are many that get to me, and others I'm affected. I'm just not crying.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't like
mean
them.
you're
It
not
ju-
moved.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that. It's just that they don't bring me to tears.
Right.
So and I'm a sociopath. So
Yeah, well, that's true. And we I think we talked about, I don't remember if we talked about this on the air, but we kind of talked about how, like last episode, I think you said this, that I thought it was sad, or
Yes.
the episode before, I thought it was sad with the kids being taken out of the
Oh,
house with the
yeah,
mom.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought it was sad, but I didn't feel it was
Yeah.
sad necessarily.
There-
So
I
that's,
mean,
that,
yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of the level. And
Absolutely.
I actually, do you have a sense, John, of the difference? I mean, is it a writing thing? Is it an acting thing? Is it a directing thing?
Why are we not getting
Is
gut
it-
punched?
well,
like
for me,
normally?
sometimes
Yeah.
they're, well, for instance, like this, to me, the ones that are most effective is when you're not telling me anything, you're not talking, like in the looks, like we talked about the relief on her face, or the look of sadness on Phyllis's face, and unsurety and about what's happening, what's going to happen, those kinds of things. They played the moments more in prior series, in my estimation. I may be in the minority on that, but that's what I think. This one, they're telling a little bit more than they usually do.
Okay.
And I think when you tell, it doesn't bring the audience in as much, and you don't feel as much because you're being told rather than being participatory and feeling it. That's my feeling. That's what I think.
It's directing.
No, I think it's
largely.
writing. I think for me, it's writing. But again, I'm sure other people are just as affected as this season as they are of others. But it's just what it is for me.
And how, right, of course, because we all receive information. In
Exactly. So I just prefer when they do it the other way, because I find it much more engaging when they're bringing me in rather than telling me what's happening. Because we had a scene, for instance, there's a scene with Lucy and Dr. Turner. And we already know what the scene's going to be is, hey, I need your help with this woman.
Right.
And they go on and they're telling you a lot of exposition.
Right.
And you just don't need all the exposition. You know what's going to happen. You know what they need to say. And rather than talk character or be character and behave in a certain way, they're telling me all kinds of information that we don't need. And I think that's when it becomes less about the visceral experience than the intellectual experience.
Got it.
That's just the thought.
I gotta go back and look at some old seasons again.
I was thinking the same
because I
thing.
need to see them against each other.
Right.
Because usually I watch and then I'm gone for a year. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Now it's like 5 years removed at this point. So
Right.
I'm interested in that. Okay.
That's my thought. Anyway, so last thoughts. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else?
Do not hurt Phyllis.
Yeah, do not. So she's in the Reggie category.
Yes,
you can't mess with
she's
Phyllis.
in the Reggie category.
Isn't it funny because
She's
Phyllis
like a mama hen.
exactly in the beginning, she was a little bristly when we first
Right,
met her.
she was adding, cards to things. Remember,
Yeah.
she was
exactly.
putting like a system
Organizing
in.
everything.
Yes, because she likes her
and-
Yeah, we
regiment.
had a little- we
and
had
she
a
runs
little
a tight
issue with
ship.
Phyllis,
She runs a
yes.
tight ship, but that they always bring you because they do that all the time.
Oh,
they bring
yes,
you
they
on,
do.
Yeah.
and then they start peeling away the character, and you start learning more about them, and then
you're
you
like,
then you
"Damn
love them,
it."
and you can't handle it because they're
Yes.
just amazing. And now you don't want anything to happen. Are you okay if something happens to Barbara? Courtney?
I'm not as
Courtney kind
emotionally
of is.
attached to her. I'm just not.
Yeah.
When she came back, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I wasn't
That's
that
nice.
excited.
I
So
like
don't know.
Barbara.
I like her.
I like her as a character. I think it's great. When they give her something to do, it's fun.
Yeah.
But Phyllis is always, she's just hitting them. She's hitting triples and home runs every time.
I need her to be
Exactly.
okay.
And the fact that she can be so bristly and brusque sometimes and yet solid, it's great. All right, so we got to get out of here. We're running late. So
At Tamara Berg on Twitter.
Everywhere at Stewart Starlet.
nowhere except the dark web.
Dark
Thanks for
soulless web.
That's right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you
you later.
later.
Cup of tea.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.